I just challenge you to do your duty, like God told you. You raise your child and you raise your child with correction. You're not your child's friend. If this child scream and holler, oh, I hate you, okay, you'll be okay. But I'm going to do what God told me first, to raise you, because guess what? You're really borrowed. He let me borrow you. He entrusted you with me. So I'm going to do my job first, regardless of how you feel, or how it may look. Because a lot of times parents get the perception that a child has say-so. It's the craziest thing I ever heard. A child is a child.
A child is a child.
You hear me? There's no compromising with no child. And I'm not saying that in a way to try to be like dominant or nothing. No, I'm talking about really because us as fathers, we need to really buckle down and pay attention to our daughters and our sons. We really need to pay attention to them, and we really need to address a lot of things, especially correction. Because what's going on for everybody is not for your child.
Let's talk about communication. Let's talk about the love. Let's talk about communication. Oh yeah, talk about the love. Let's talk about communication. Let's talk about the love. Let's talk about communication. Oh yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your host, William Robinson, coming at you live today from the studios of TLC, Talk, Love, and Communication. Today we have a special guest, Steve McDuffie. He's going to give us some wisdom, knowledge, and understanding today on My Story. He's going to share his story with y'all, ladies and gentlemen. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we want to give my guests a special round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. So what it is, Mr. McDuffie, how you doing today, man?
Yeah, I'm doing just fine. How about yourself?
All right, man, all right. How your ride over was, man?
It was all right.
All right, pretty good. Well, it's been a long time. I bumped into you about a month ago.
Oh, yeah.
Man, it was good to see you, man.
It was good to see you, too.
You know what I mean? Don't been quite a few years. You know, I was gone for a while, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But we back, man.
We back.
So you want to tell my audience a little bit about yourself, sir?
I mean, I'm pretty simple read. I'm just the average guy.
The average guy.
The average guy.
You know what I mean? You know, I know, you know, we got Steve McDuffie, but I know you by Jap. So share with my audience how you get the nickname Jap, man.
Well, that come from a very long time ago. That name was given to me by a person you probably know named Alonzo King, 8-Ball.
Okay.
8-Ball gave me that name. He said I look like a Japanese.
Like a Japanese, huh? You got them slanted eyes, huh?
Yeah.
So let me ask you something. So when you at the movies and you laugh, can you still see the movie?
I can see everything clearly.
You can still see everything clearly.
Everything.
You got the little eyes and I got the big eyes, huh?
Baby.
Hey, man, hey, we get it done. Thank the Lord we can see what we see, huh?
Yes, sir.
You know, and speaking of seeing, you know, we have other type of eyes. We got our physical eyes and we got our spiritual eyes. You know, we got our street sense eyes. You know, we can have the ability to read between the lines. You know, we've been out here in these streets a long time, man. So walk us through the journey from the teenage Jap to the man that you are today.
Well, my teenage years, it was like pretty much like, well, I was involved with a lot of things. Teenage years. I'm the youngest child out of 8. Out of 8, I got 7 sisters, 1 brother. So I was raised by women. I was born out of wedlock. Yeah. I'm the only child that was born out of wedlock from my mom. She had moved from South Carolina. And she actually was leaving an abusive relationship. And she actually got her kids together and whatever they can get together and say, let's go. And she left, and wherever her money ran out, that's where she ended up, and that's here in Ocala. But I was born out of wedlock, yeah. And I pretty much grew up in a house with just my sisters, my mom and brother. I mean, we never really had another man in the house. After my father.
Mm-hmm.
One was married. One passed when I was about 4 years old. But we was poor, but we didn't know how poor we was until we got older. My sister had to bring it to my attention about, it was about 2 Mother Days ago. I mean, 2 Mother Days a couple years back.
Mm-hmm.
And she just sat there. She was standing in the kitchen. And she was just looking, and she was like, we really didn't know how poor we was. Well, we was poor, but we had love. I was brought up in a house of love. And at times when you have that type of that foundation, you really don't see the little things. So, but yeah. But after that, I pretty much, got involved in the streets. That's when the epidemic hit. This was like 85. Some say 85. Actually, it was probably about 84. In that type of life, it appealed to me.
Mm-hmm.
It appealed to me, so I got in the middle of it. Now, mind you, not one of my mama kids ever been in trouble or did anything wrong. I'm the baby. I'm the one that took the whole load.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when you start off that young, you're exposed to a lot of things too.
Mm-hmm.
You should know that,
Yeah.
right?
That's right.
You can relate to what I'm saying.
I definitely can relate to what you're saying.
Yeah. Exposed to a lot of things.
And you talked about being raised by women. That's a lot of women in the house.
Oh yeah.
And you spoke on just you and your brother.
Yeah.
And when you raised by women, it's a lot of advantages and it's some disadvantages to that.
True.
Because as we know as men right now, how important the father is in the household.
Oh yeah, very.
And how important it is to have a man present.
Oh yeah.
But also being raised by women, it teaches you to look at women different. Respect women different.
Yes.
To understand a woman different. They got the saying a woman can't raise a man. But I'm here to tell you, boy, Betty Jean did a pretty good job.
I'm trying to tell you.
You know what I mean?
I wouldn't have it no other way. I mean, for real. I wouldn't have had it no other way.
When you're proud of who you are and you look at yourself in the mirror, you can live with yourself. What would you want change? You know what I mean? But we understand so tell me the advantages and disadvantages to being raised by so many women.
Okay, I can just speak on me.
Yes, sir.
My experience.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for one, being raised by women, one thing I do know. Being raised by women, you are going to be in tune with yourself, especially when it comes to emotions and feelings. That's just going to happen, right? The advantages of that is just like, how can I say this? From my experience, really didn't need my father in the house, really, because there was more peace without him.
Mm-hmm.
There was more love without him. There was more attention to each other without him. He was sort of, like a little tornado, hurricane at times. He disrupted a lot of things.
And it's sad, but when you witness that as a young child, when that's gone, when you got that kind of presence dominating the household.
Yeah.
Because if you see him, all the kids, mama is everything.
Mm.
And when you see mama humble herself and he controlling mama like this, when it comes to you and in your eyes, it's nothing greater than him. And when that's gone, it kind of makes you come together. Did it bring y'all together more as a family?
Oh yeah, of course. But see, I was of the mind state right there. That bothered me from day one. So,
Did you find yourself having a lot of resentment in your heart toward him?
Oh, to this day. But I didn't deal with it. To this day. What can I say? When you're looking at a person, we talking about on a scale, wasn't a very good person. Just like people died at the funeral and, You expect to hear all good things about them, but let's be real. Were they a horrible person when they were alive or not? You know. So that's just my perspective on him.
Do you know, if I made the statement, every man yearns to have a relationship with dad, it's something within us, you know what I'm saying? But like I say, like you said earlier, being raised in the street and seeing certain things, you grow up fast and, hey, that dog is a dog. That rooster's a rooster. Once you identify him as what he is, you accept it.
Oh, yeah.
It is what it is, but that doesn't mean you have some love in your heart for him, but that doesn't make him not what he is, because we understand that man make individual decisions every day just like you and I do, and it's his choice.
But you know what? To be honest, Pete, it taught me some things. It taught me not to be like him.
That's right. That's right.
So that was the gift he gave me.
And when people witness that, like you say, it's two boys in the house, you and your brother. You may have took on the role of, I'm never going to be like that.
Oh, I knew that from out the gate.
But then, not saying that your brother is, but sometimes
he's not.
In households, you'll find one that turn out just like that.
Oh yeah.
It's either it's gonna draw you in or you're gonna pull you away. You know what I mean? And sometimes we find that, man, and and that's something. Seeing things like that could teach you what not to be.
Oh yeah.
So that's the pro of it. You know what I'm saying? When you started dating and start smelling yourself and you got all these big sisters, how they ran them away from there?
No, actually, it wasn't like that. I mean, to be honest, like I had a childhood when I grew up. Mm-hmm. I did what a child that age was supposed to do and was doing. A lot of us to this day, I mean, a lot of our kids, they're not fortunate enough to have that, but I had a childhood. So I really didn't, think about girls and like that time. I'm like 13, 14, I want to run and play and do whatever, everything else a child was doing,
Yeah. Get on the bicycle and jump around.
All that.
Yeah, the spoken dokes. What they know about the spoken dokes and the reflectors,
nothing about that. Wow. How about the aluminum foil?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You take the old cup they used to drink their little lick in and you tear it off and put the little clamp in the clack, you got your motorcycle.
Oh, yeah. See, we was able to appreciate things like that, the simple things.
Imagination.
Yes.
I think that's something that's missing.
Yeah.
Nowadays,
it does.
The imagination. They don't even have to.
They can't even think for themselves too much. It's like it's
Google.
Pretty much programmed.
Siri.
This is what you believe in. This is what you think. This is what's acceptable. It's a lot going on right now.
Yeah. What's the main difference in growing up in our days and the way we see the kids today?
The difference, everything. And I'm glad you said that, because that's one of the bulletin points that I was talking about. The age of innocence is over. It's sad. It's not good for everybody. It's bad, period. And this world, just like you never know what you're gonna step into when you open your door and step out. And it's so crazy. It's just like now it's like my mind is more concerned about what's gonna happen than just living all together. Is that living?
Let's break it down as far when we talk about the youth. As far as the struggles that the young ladies are going through. Back in our days, man, like you say, 13, 14, man, we call on the phone, man, and she hold our hand and stuff, man. That was big time, man.
That was everything.
You know what I mean? You go at the little house party and she dance to Keep Sweat to you, man. That was big time.
Just she look at you and give you any attention, that was big.
That was big time.
Oh yeah.
Nowadays, man, the youth is. I want you to speak on it. What you see, it's like the value the young ladies. You speak on that.
Well, I can go from a lot of directions, a lot of vantage points from that. But first and foremost, I really think that dealing with the young ladies, and that is something that we really, really, as a black community, need to get on top of our young black sisters, right? We really need to get, and I think that the fathers need to be more proactive with that. I think we need to take back our baton and lead in that, because the reason why I say that, and it's no disrespect to mothers or anything, when you have a girl, a young child girl, the mother pretty much becomes, and I'm not saying every mother, I'm not saying that, I'm saying the culture. They pretty much like become their friend at times.
Right.
At times.
Rather than being a parent, they try to be the friend.
Parent, it's like at times a child, they act out, and it's a lot of things going on with when society tell you your child dealing with mental issues and this and that you need to try to fit in a way to understand them and this and that. I mean, I look at it kind of a little different, because I really go to the man on this as well. Women, y'all do a good job. Y'all do, especially y'all single parent mothers, the ones that stand in the paint and want to raise your kids right and all that, and don't take that. And as a mother, first and foremost, before anything, my hat's off to you. Prayers to you. I love to see my sisters doing good, but we need to try to be, as men, more involved and get more on board to steering our kids back right. And the reason why I say that, fathers, we really need to step up, because I just challenge you to do your duty, like God told you. You raise your child, and you raise your child with correction. You're not your child's friend. If this child scream and holler, oh, I hate you, okay, you'll be okay. But I'm going to do what God told me first, to raise you, because guess what? You're really borrowed. He let me borrow you. He entrusted you with me. So I'm going to do my job first, regardless of how you feel, or how it may look. Because a lot of times parents get the perception that a child has say-so. It's the craziest thing I ever heard. A child is a child.
A child is a child.
You hear me? There's no compromising with no child. And I'm not saying that in a way to try to be like dominant or nothing. No, I'm talking about really, because us as fathers, we need to really buckle down and pay attention to our daughters and our sons. We really need to pay attention to them, and we really need to address a lot of things, especially correction. Because what's going on for everybody is not for your child. You know what's right for your child, right?
That's right.
I'm speaking to
the man,
men
and women,
men that's our men, and women that are women.
That's right.
This is who I'm speaking to.
You know, when you spoke of the parents being friends,
yeah,
they try to be the kid friend, and the kids having a say.
Yeah.
When I came home, man, that was the strangest, craziest thing in the world, to where, when me and you was raised, when Mama said at one time, it was done.
Switch, drop cord, whatever. It was done.
You don't get to finish playing Roblox first. Tell Mama, I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna do it when I'm finished. It doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? I believe in, you allow a kid to express themselves, in a proper manner.
Exactly.
But you don't get to tell me. It's almost like the parent is the child and the child is the parent. And that's just the backwards. And, I have problems right now. I come home from prison. My kids are adults, And one thing I said to myself leaving was, I must understand that they are grown. When I say something to them, it's an opinion now. They don't have to do it because they are an adult. I
think right there, I don't mean to cut you off, that a lot of times that be an error in our thinking as well. Because regardless of how long ago, I'm still your father.
I'm still your father.
I don't care how long you live, I'm still your father.
But in certain things, like let's say it's a situation where, you know, when as a child, you direct them and you lead them in ways to sway them from trouble and certain things. And right now, you still do the same thing. But if I say to him, my son, well, son, I don't think you should go buy that other car. You know, that's not the way it's going to mess your credit up. See, I can't make him not buy the car.
No.
That's his choice.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that because I wanted to clarify what I was saying about that. Really, it's not like when I was saying that you their father, you're gonna be their father forever. This not like that in that context.
Right.
I'm just saying we're understanding where we are in this life and who we are. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's understood. Everybody becomes an adult if they live to be an adult, and that's understandable. Some may have kids. Now they have kids. Okay, they just as grown as you. But I was just talking about respect.
Always
That's
respect.
all I was
That's
saying,
right.
the respect.
And nowadays it seems like once the kids get to the age of adult, all of the respect goes out the window. You know what I mean? It's like I'm no different than you. You know, I've heard kids say that being a mom, being a dad, and a grandmother, that's just a title. If you don't respect me, I'm not going to respect you. You know, and that's how they felt. You know, and I asked myself, how did it get to this point? And I think we as a culture, we as a people, we have a tendency to, like you said, we grew up poor. You know,
Majority of us.
Yeah, but like you say, you took the words out of my mouth, man. We grew up poor out there in Bullsboro Quarter, but I didn't know we was poor because of the love.
Because of the love.
The love, and I might have had more than the neighbor. You know, I had a bicycle, he didn't.
Would you change anything?
No. And, you know, I'm saying that to say that it's so important to have a structure. You know, our dads may not have been there, but boy, we had some hell of a women back then, some mothers. But the true definition of being of a mother, you know, and it's hard for a woman, man. Sometimes it breaks my heart. Sometimes I ride by and I see a young lady with a baby in the stroller, 2, 3 kids under 5, and she's trying to make it. You know, and society will look down on that woman. But a lot of time we as men, we scumbags. You know, we tell them everything they want to hear. We be everything we need to be until the belly blow up, until the responsibility hit, and then we run. You know, and that's why it's important to, you know, on the second part, I asked you about the young ladies, but as far as the men, you know, raising up the young boys to be men, you know, to not to be selfish, you know, to be the men of old, you know what I'm saying, to respect the young lady, you know what I mean? You want to speak on that as far as the youth and the guiding and the leading of the young men?
Yeah. Got a lot to say about them. But I think it has a lot to do with just being more attentive to your child, especially in the age that we live in. And if you really look back and you do the statistics about this, the youth that's really getting in trouble, the young guys, you got to look at their age, look at their parents' age. It's like they both was in the same generation.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It's like you have a mom that's 32 that got an 18-year-old.
Yeah.
They basically in the same generation. They basically have the same likes, whether it be music or whatever. And that's where a lot of that comes in. So the attentiveness is not there. You see what I'm saying? Because they looking at it as it's nothing wrong because they're in that same generation, in that same culture. A lot of things that goes on, they look at it and bypass it as it's not harmful and all, and they allow their kids to do it as well. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. And you know, as I walk throughout this community, man, I see so many young homeless people.
Is that crazy or what?
I'm talking about in their 20s and 30s, homeless, living in the woods.
Is that crazy or what?
And I think it goes back to what you're saying. See, right now, in your 50s, if you got down enough on your luck, you know you can go home to mama. You understand what I'm saying?
I've been out of the house since I've been 13. I ain't never been back.
Right, that's true.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, if you got down enough, you know, before you have to go in those bushes and live in those bushes, you got a mom and 7 sisters.
Oh, yeah.
Someone, you understand what I'm saying? That was family and the love and the unity.
Yeah.
The growing up as one, playing marbles, playing hopscotch, throwing rocks at cars, all these old things we used to do together.
Yeah.
Now, that's not there. You know, the like you say, the mother's only 13, 14 years older than the child. And so the mother still want, now you have 40-year-old women, we see them. We see some of them our age, Steve, but jobs. You know, they still running the street. They still want to be in the in crowd. And a lot of them so depressed because their flower is passing. You let it go. You're a grandmother.
Yeah.
No one wants to get old. It's a blessing to be our age.
You better believe it. And there's nothing wrong with getting old. And there's nothing wrong with letting everybody else have their own turn.
Man, it hurt me to my heart, man. I never stopped to the Big Apple.
Yeah.
I'm just really not on that side.
I know it's bad when you stop at any convenience store. Not really. Not just
man, I stopped to the Big Apple, man. I seen a young man.
People you know and the young ones, they get you, don't it? Yeah.
This man might not be, he about 35, 36 right now, man. I mean, a kid, man. You know what I'm saying? I guess he's a man now. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, I met him at 18 years old. You know what I mean? And it's bright. You know, it's and when he seen me, man, and it's amazing, you know, the impact we have on people's life. You know, I used to talk to him about the Bible. And Romans chapter 8, verse 31 is my go-to. If God be for you, who could be against you? And I used to always say to him, but Romans 8:31, boy, 8:31. 8:31. And when that man seen me, I said his name. And I ain't know if he'll recognize me or what. You know what I mean? I said his name. I was sitting in the car and I went to get out, you know, and man, as soon as that man see me, that man say Romans 8:31, man. Man, that touched me as I sit here and tell this right now. You know, all he going through, bro, don't you never forget, boy, if God is for you, who could be against you? When that really sank in, what is a roof over your head? You know what I'm saying? What is, and I had just went and got a pizza. And the person didn't want it. They were like, oh, that's gonna give me heartburn.
It must be from Little Caesar.
It was from Little Caesar. And I gave that brother that piece. Man, you got to understand how God worked, because I never stopped to Big Apple. I haven't been, that was the only time I've been in the Big Apple since I've been home from prison. And I just happened to see that young man and gave him that pizza, man. You know, he could have been an hour away from being so hungry to where he robbed the store.
Yeah.
You know?
That's real.
I was going to get a sub the other night, man, and the man came up and he said to the lady that worked behind the counter, ma'am, I'm hungry. Is it possible you could make me a piece of a sub? She said, I can't. You know what I mean? In the end, that's her job. She can't just give away subs.
Yeah, that's true.
And I told the lady, I said, man, what you got going on, man? He said, man, I'm hungry, man. He said, man, I wash the windshield, I wipe you. You know, I said, man, you don't have to do all that. And I was to the thing finna pay for mine. I said, man, ring me up for another and get him one. She said, what kind? I said, give him one just like I got. You know, that man could have been so hungry until he came back in there with a knife. Now you would have made him a sandwich. But the world's so cold. You know, it's everybody's so selfish, Steve.
And I'm going to show you something about that when you say that. Give you another perspective. I encounter that every day, right? Sure as I'm out, it's going to be somebody that's going to ask for something or want something and all. And one thing I do, I have intuition.
That's right.
and have discernment.
That's right.
And I've been out here long enough that you can walk up and I know exactly what you're about to say or do. All I need to do is hear one word, and I'm on the case. So you can't tell me anything, and it's just a lot of things is not going to fly over my head. And it's nothing wrong with what you do when you help, because that's what God called you to do. If that's what you're going to do it. But before you do any of that, you reach down in yourself and you look at what's going on around, like what's going on. Because a lot of times you know what you do. You become an enabler.
Yeah.
You help them continue to do what they're doing. And a lot of times it's not because you're hungry. Because listen, if I'm hungry, I'm not going to be walking around in here. I go back there and wait at McDonald's. I'm just saying, if I'm hungry, if I'm starving that bad, I'm not just going to be sitting there waiting on, I'm going to go get me something to eat. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of people, they'll play on you like that.
You know, it's game recognized game.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You got to be able to discern that.
Yeah.
You got to be able to understand what a person doing right there and there, because see me, I'm going to be honest. I don't like just giving my money away or doing a good deed for nothing.
That's right.
You feel me? I wanted to make a difference, make an impact.
And you know, Steve, it's a scripture in the Bible say, be not forgetful.
Yes.
To entertain strangers.
I know that's true too.
For some have entertained angels unawarely.
Yes.
And I have those same traits. You know, when you grow up the way we grew up, and like we say, we've been in the streets a while, man, and to survive and to be alive, you got to have some discernment and some intuition. If not, you will be devoured. And it's just something inside me, you know what I'm saying? Normally, I ain't no green thumb. You know what I mean? I see it a mile away, and it's just, he didn't come begging people. He wasn't standing out there loitering by the store. It was like inside a Subway over there by Vanguard, you know what I'm saying? And he came to the lady humbly, say, ma'am, can you please? And
that's what goes with what I'm saying. You got to be able to discern that and understand. You got to pay attention to what's going on before you just jump and do that. Cause
he didn't ask me. He didn't ask me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He even offered to earn it.
Yeah.
Man, I go out there and wash your windshields. I go out there and what you want me to do for this?
You may have a real one. You may have a real one.
He was willing to earn it. And and I just look at, man, being in prison. I don't think I went to prison because of the crime I did. I think I went to prison for the experience. For God to show me things and to see things, because right now I love at a different level. Talk, love, and communication. You know what I mean? You understand, you see things and you sit down. God told me to do this podcast, but I was podcasting sitting on my bed, man. When dudes come by and tell me their story, man, and just hurting, man. This man ain't said 5 words to me since I've been in the dorm with him, but his grandma died. Now he on my bed. What made him come to me? You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And sometimes people just be in bad situations and act out. And wind up with 20, 30 years. Like, that man could have came back in that store an hour later because he was just that. Because if you get hungry enough, Steve, you would do some crazy things.
You heard what I said. I'm not going to sit. I'm going to find me something to eat.
That's right. And see, what's common sense to me and you may not be common sense to the next man. What you would do when you at wit's end, it may not even be able to fathom in his mind, because he haven't lived your life. He haven't been exposed to what you've been exposed to. His brain don't respond and act the way yours do. We would think, well, it's common sense. But I had a friend say his mama used to always tell him, son, common sense ain't all that common. See, what's come natural to Steve may not come natural to the next man.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Because the things that you grew up with, he wasn't raised with. You take certain people and you put them in certain situations, man, they'll fall apart. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, of course I know what you mean.
You know, your sister's being older than you. So if you remember the things that Dad did, I'm quite sure they witnessed it also.
Oh, of course.
have they ever shared with you? How do you think that affected their lives?
Oh,
Succeed?
they shared with me. They shared with me through the years. And, I really don't want to get into that. But what I can say is that I know we're talking about structure. The man need to be in the house and all. And there are instances where you really don't need him in the house.
If, when we talk about the man, when we say the word man, we mean
We
the
talk,
true
yeah.
definition of a man.
Yes.
Being the provider, being the protector, being the one that instill things and input into his family, that gives that structure and demand his reverence. You know what I'm saying? Like you say, when it's an abusive situation, it's never good. You know what I mean? But as far as like people like me and you, like me going to prison, man, the worst thing, if I could do anything in the world over, man, it would be not go to prison. Not because of I wanted to be home, because I could raise my kids.
I got a question for you, though.
Yes, sir.
I got a question for you. Being that you are who you are now and knowing what you know, do you think it was worth it?
Yes. I'm sure I wouldn't be the man I am.
Thank you.
A lot of times I tell people, what you call me? Say, you call me what?
Big P.
Big P.
Big P. Sometimes you got to go through that hurricane to get to the other side.
See, right now at this point in my life, I no longer answer to that. I'm William Robinson. You see what I'm saying?
You definitely William Robinson.
See, that's the thing. Big Pete went to prison. Big Pete sent William Robinson to prison. But thank the Lord for William Robinson. You know what I'm saying? And what's crazy, Steve, is that, man,
you found him. You found him in there, huh?
At times, certain situations will arise right now.
Yeah.
To where if William have never encountered them, the Big Peter, it'll flare, but I instantly catch it.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, man, you bipolar, what you acting? You crazy, boy? No. See, that's me containing, controlling. That's the wisdom. That's the maturity. That's the spirit of God. You understand what I'm saying? Those are the things that we have to look for. And sometimes we get labeled. Like me. I haven't seen you in a long time, but for me to see you, I could see a different man sitting in this chair. I could see, maturity. I could see growth. I could see, it makes me smile. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because, it's a lot of us ain't here, man. It's a lot of our, man, we hitting the age to where it ain't a many of us, to when you hear a classmate this but a classmate that, it's we the grandfathers now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so many things, man, looking back, let's talk about some childhood friends, and
Okay.
when I thought of you, when I remember you about, I think you like 3 years older than me.
Oh, I'm 52.
You're 2 years older than me. I'm 50.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because when I was in the 9th, you and y'all was in the 11th or whatever. No, see, yeah. And you used to be with a guy named Jamie Rusher, man. I couldn't find you without him, man.
Oh, my cousin Squirrel. Huh.
Squirrel.
He goes by the name Squirrel, mind you still.
That's right. Squirrel and Jap, man. 2 peas in a pot, man. Just talk about, your cousin. Because, everybody got that favorite cousin. The one you grew up with, you was the closest with. And just talk about how life takes its turns. And sometimes, it's not that you grow apart, but, life is life. And as you mature, you don't do the same things you used to.
That's true.
Let's talk about the growth, and the relationship with childhood friends and things of that nature.
Oh, yeah. Speaking on Squirrel, well, first off, Squirrel is my cousin. He's not my biological cousin. Mm-hmm. He's my stepbrother, cousin. But we all grew up together, so that really doesn't make a difference. That's my
Right,
cousin.
right.
Right. And I pretty much favored him over the rest of my cousins and even my brothers, my stepbrothers and all. He was just my favorite cousin. And he had it rough too coming up. He had it rough. He was going through a lot of things at the house and all. And I can recall I got kicked out of school in the 11th grade. I was in the streets still. And I can recall Squirrel, which is Jamie Rushing, he was going through it at the house with his stepfather and all. So he got kicked out the house. Now, mind you, I already know my fate. But at the same time, this is my favorite cousin. And I loved it. So back then, I had my own house, car, old lady, everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, 15, 16, because Squirrel is like a year older than me. But I can recall that he got kicked out the house and I can recall me telling him, hey, one of us going to have to graduate. So I brought him home with me, and he was there for that whole school year. I used to drive him to school every day. It was a point to where I was in the street. I brought him all his school clothes and everything. And that's not just saying something to try to toot my horn. I'm just showing you the love of what you're saying, childhood friend, and genuine love for, the people that you do grow up with, you know. And he graduated. He did good. He graduated and he went to the Navy. But it's a lot of guys that I grew up with, that really contributed to who I am, you know. I just didn't form like this overnight. I got a lot of people to thank, a lot of people to be grateful for, a lot of people who just they flavor or whatever that I took it upon my own and made myself. But just growing up, man, because I genuinely had a childhood. Yeah, I was out there in the street three, but I had a childhood though.
Mm-hmm.
I did things that kids my age did, besides the side thing. But
You would never would know that because I remember, me being a couple years younger. You know what I mean? You see Jamie's always clean cut, always creased up, everything. You never know what goes on behind closed doors, man.
You never know.
You think that, dang, man, I wish I could. I want to be like, I want to be like Jamie. I want to be like, you know what I mean? But you don't know, you know what I mean? And sometimes today, a lot of times with this Facebook and this social media, a lot of people hide behind a smile, man.
Oh yeah.
They got a song called "Smiling Faces Tell Lies." Man.
Oh yeah.
Social media. What have you think it has done to the world?
It done distorted reality for one, because a lot of people they really take this Facebook thing as the law in their minds. It's real. And a lot of times it's not real. And it goes back to what you're saying. What you're seeing is a picture. What you're seeing is a person like, oh, nobody in the world have that much fun in the world.
That's right.
Nobody in the world is just always just this fantastic life. But this is what they portray. And this is what they chase. And this is what they compete for, and this is what they look for clout for, and it really like stopping them from growing in a lot of different areas. They stuck in this, how can I say? They stuck in this fictitious world at times.
Yep.
And what they call it now? They plugged into the matrix.
Plugged into the matrix.
Plugged into the matrix.
See, movies, Hollywood, they show us all this stuff, man, and we
They're
think
grooming
back
you
to Star Trek, man. Maybe that was a pager. That was a cell phone.
We got it today.
We got it today. You understand what I'm saying? And all these things, they're not just coming up with these movies.
No, they been had that stuff.
Denzel was in a movie called Fallen. Time is on my side. Where you touch the person and the spirit says jumping. Mm-hmm. You mentioned the Matrix. Now think about the Matrix. Now, Neo let's go back to Morpheus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he represent God. Neo is the chosen one, Jesus.
Mm.
The agents is the demons, the spirits.
Mm-hmm.
So once Neo come into this world as a body, okay, Neo is in the world. The agent will go from anybody. You walking down the road, and boom, the agent become you.
It's a good analogy.
So when Neo turn around and kill the agent, which is the spirit, goes to the next
another
person, but you die. You're dead for real.
Oh, yeah.
And the spirit just goes on. And and that's, everything is a spirit, man.
Hey, man, it's funny you said that because I really do feel like something moving in this world that we can't see it. It's just the way people act now. And it's like you can look at them, it's like it's something else there. It's not just them. You ever get that feeling when you look at a person like, God, I'm looking at him, but I'm not seeing him. I'm looking in his eyes. It's like I'm looking at something.
See, spirit see spirit. It was a scripture in the Bible. It's in Mark chapter 5, man. Everybody know the part where it say the man was in the tomb cutting himself.
Everybody don't know. But yeah. I'm just,
you're right. You're right. Everybody don't know. Mark chapter 5, it's at the beginning, and he was cutting himself, and they say the man, they call him a lunatic spirit. And they say he saw Jesus from afar off. I mean, a long ways off.
Mm-hmm.
And he say, Son of the living God.
Even he knew.
You come to torment me before my time.
Mm-hmm. I remember that verse.
See, and how did he know who Jesus was? But see, when Jesus came to the man, Jesus say, silence. Jesus say, what is your name? And the spirit say, my name is Legion, for we are many. Now think about this now. To the people standing around, the man is saying it.
Mm-hmm.
The man is saying it out of his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
But the spirit is talking.
Oh, yeah.
Spirit see spirit.
Oh,
the spirit of Legion that was in that man could look and see the spirit of God in Jesus walking around in that flesh.
Oh, yeah.
So spirit see spirit. And you're right. And let me tell you something, man. You know how we grew up. You know me. We had our, we will, we were raised to thump, and we were raised to do what we do.
We don't do that no more.
You know what I'm saying? And but see, going to prison and things like that, I'm quite sure I wasn't the baddest. You know what I'm saying? And by the time I got there, I'm mature, but I will do what's required. You know what I'm saying? But spirit see spirit.
Oh, yeah.
And by the time I wonder, man, I sat in the county jail 4 years and ain't killed nobody.
Mm-hmm.
I stayed 4 years in the county jail. Why? You understand what I'm saying? Because that word had to get embedded in me. It had to be in my spirit. It had to be in my soul before I went off because, in the end, it's survival mode.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what I mean? And in the end, I'm going to do what got to be done. You understand what I'm saying? And by the time I got there, man, the spirit of God was so much within me, dog, to where those people, those ones, I always got respect. Officers, everything. I can't say I lived a bad life, you know what I'm saying? Because, spirit see spirit. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give respect and I'm going to demand my respect.
It's funny you said that because I think I've been to 8 institutes in the feds. Mainly a lot of them over there in the Midwest, that's gangland. And, there's rules, especially in the feds, because anything can happen. If the wrong person do the wrong thing, it can cost a lot of people a lot of hardship. But everywhere I went, I never had a problem.
Yeah.
I sat at tables that people that wasn't supposed to be there sat and all. I ate with Bloods, Crips, Texas, these from wherever. And nobody really had a problem. Because, in the feds, if your home table ain't open, you're gonna stand there. You're gonna stand there till there's an opening, then you're gonna be able to, you better hope your homeboy hurry up and eat. You can't go to no other table. But I never did that. I never stood up and I just like, man, I'm not finna stand up here. I'm finna go sit over here to whoever. I sit there in the middle of it and nobody ever said nothing.
You know, if I made the statement 352 is different, how would you respond to that?
352 is very different.
You know, and go ahead, sir.
Now you say how I respond to it.
Yes.
In what context?
You know, like being in that setting, you know, most people understood what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, man, I'm gonna wait.
Yeah.
But man, I'm finna sit down and eat, man. Straight up, I'm finna eat.
I'm finna sit down and eat.
That's right. No disrespect, man.
No
to
disrespect.
Whoever, but bro, I'm finna eat.
And when I eat, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna leave like I wasn't even here.
And see, what I mean by 352, you know, like my years in the chain gang, man, we just different, man.
Listen, man, it's the funny thing that you say that. Not to know. Every institute I went to, if there was somebody from Ocala, they always was in the middle of something. When I say in the middle of something, they pretty much was one of the guys on the compound. And every other guy, regardless if they from here, from over there, gang, they could go at each other all the time. But Ocala guys was always looked at as the cool. Man, they cool. Them Ocala, they cool. And it never was more than about 5 or 6 of us on the compound at any given time.
And it was respect. You know, now we know a lot of times, another thing I noticed by, you know, the chain gang Ocala guys, you know,
Ocala is well known than you really think.
Yeah. The unity, see me, I was even different amongst the Ocala guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because by that time, Big Pete, you know, everybody looking for Big Pete. They know Big Pete. But see, I didn't come home and become William Robinson. The difference was I became William Robinson in the chain gang.
Now where you found him.
You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I'm true to who I am. Like you say, I'm finna sit down and eat. So therefore, even though these my childhood friends,
mm-hmm.
man, you heard what I said, straight up.
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And you know me enough to understand the consequences. You know, not saying that, you know what I'm saying? It's like, dang, you know, all these people, I got to be beefing with you. You know what I'm saying? But you know what time it is, straight up, man. You know what I'm saying? I you know what I mean? This is what I stand for.
There you go.
This is who I am. You know, I'm not here to take care of your habits. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
You know, I'm a man's no matter what, who, what, when, and where. You know, I don't mind, you know, hey, we need a little soap, we need a little deodorant, a little toothpaste. I got you every single time. And most of the time I hustle in the chain gang. You understand what I'm saying? But the few times where I'm getting it from home, I can't take care of you when they taking care of me.
Oh, yeah.
But if I'm getting it from the muscle, bro, I got you.
Yeah.
You need to get on this cell phone, I got you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I will help you do what I'm doing. But if you burn your bridge, you burn your bridge.
Oh, yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And I receive a man as a man. I don't care who you is, where you from. You know what I mean? You got to hold a man accountable to his actions, you know, and sometimes, you know, as we know, sometimes some of them, we praise them around here, you know what I'm saying? But up there, up that road, man, you know, you really see who is who.
You really do.
You know what I'm saying? You see some things that, you know, you come home, they come home, and, you know, hey, I'm proud of you. You want to make the change, but you better stay away from the women in my family. You understand what I'm saying? And that's real. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, we you know, it seemed to me we wasn't as tight as other, you know, you got Jacksonville, Tampa, you know, them boys.
Those are big city, though.
Yeah, and they ride. You know
gotta
what I'm saying?
understand, they funneling them out by the hundreds that way.
Yeah.
We from the small, well, Ocala, you know, we have a little round up here and there. That's why we wasn't so big like that.
But we were, like you said, we was always respected.
Always respected
And,
everywhere I ever went.
And we somehow or another, one of us is the man on the pound.
Someone got his hands in something.
Because when it come to, you know, when we talk about Marion County in the days that we raised up, it's time, a lot of kids now don't understand being chased by the white man. You know what I'm saying? Sicking the dog going out there to the lumber stacks by the white man. You know what I'm saying? You got to go to the white people pool. They holding you underwater. You know, all these things. See, people, they don't they don't understand these things. So, when you raise that, you endure things, you know what I'm saying? And you see things that open your eyes because I've seen it before.
Oh yeah.
You out to Howard Miller, these people supposed to be your teachers. This man hitting you with this paddle, but he's trying to hurt you.
You talking about DV? DV Marine? You still let him get hold of you like that?
But I was in here talking to
you traumatized. It sound like trauma there.
I was talking to the young lady interviewing her, and she was talking about Miss Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Thomas will pull them ears and stuff. And I asked about DV.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I seen DV take his belt off in the classroom and get one. Go home and tell your mama and your daddy.
Thank God I did all middle school years at Osceola.
Give him the same thing. The DB Marine, man. God bless his soul, man. But as he just, looking back, he just wanted us to be something, man.
He did.
You know what I'm saying? Like the young boys that were struggling, that was fighting through adversity and things, man, he'll let them come and pay them good.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He'll let them cut his yard and he'll pay them and things. He just
try to give him structure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember I heard a man say one time, it's good for your children to fear you. And at the time, I'm like, I'm about to be scared of you, know what I'm saying? You don't do. But what he meant was reverence.
Yes.
That's what he meant.
Oh, yeah.
The
fear of disappointing or something like that. Not so much as I'm scared of you.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Not terrified, but
yeah.
Reverence. Like we fear God.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We fear man to man. You're not afraid of your supervisor.
No.
Man to man.
No. But
the authority and the position that he holds in this environment, you give him some form of reverence.
Yeah.
And with that being said, we talk about broken homes and the husband and the wives and the spouses and things. It's this floating around that, the women give their supervisors more respect than their husbands at home.
That's probably true in some instances.
You want to speak on that?
I can. Well, the reason why they do that at times, and I think it goes back to a cultural thing that's going on. It's more or less, you know what I'm saying? I'm not here to pick out no ethnic group or anything. I'm just speaking what I feel to be true.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I do believe that's true at times because, see, at times, and I'm going to say this before I get back there, because what leads me to say this is my mom, and it's one thing that really aggravated me and bothered me about my mom, and it also broke my heart when I see it. It's like when a Caucasian person come around, it's the reverence she give them. Because she's from South Carolina. You know how that is. It's like how the reverence that she gives used to break my heart. To see my mama, so authorial when it's us, but when it's person that's not even kin us, or they're just white, the reverence she gave it to them. Now it goes back to what I was saying. So that's why I have an opinion about that. Yes, I do believe that is true in some instances, because I believe that they suffer from that same thing that my mom was going, as if that the Caucasian folks, white folks, however you want to put it, are to be reverenced. They done stamped in their head that they probably pretty much superior. And a lot of our sisters, they go for that. Because when I was in Arkansas, I was up in prison in Arkansas, and it was like a stare that everybody was on. First it was the white man, then it was the white woman, then it was the black woman, then it was the black man. They're gonna always put us at the bottom. They're gonna always make us look bad, like we ain't nothing at times. Not saying always is the absolute. Let me take that back. I think a lot of times that is what goes on. And a lot of times it's just like, They feel that, I guess, it'll help them more at their job if they show that kind of reverence or whatever. But yeah, I believe that is true though.
You know, I think it boils down to choice. You know, going back to mom now, you know,
Yeah.
me and, you know, we in our 50s.
Yeah.
So mom, much older than us.
Yes.
And you know, in decades before, you know how life was.
Yeah.
Life was
exactly.
different. And
Yeah.
I used to wonder my grandmother, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, grandma was born in 1932. So you can imagine the things she witnessed. And then when these people, insurance people come, you know what I'm saying? You know, you trust this man in your house? You know what I'm saying? I mean, but we talk about God and we talk about forgiveness and
Can we talk about the black church too now?
Yes,
Being that we on that?
we gonna get on that, the black church. I want to make a point.
Yeah.
It's boiled down to choice. You know, the woman understands that. And a lot of times, the woman may have children at home.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, one thing about our black women, we love our children. They love their children. And she know that she prioritizing things.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes that's out of place because your husband come first.
Better believe it.
Your husband eats first.
Actually, it depends on the husband. I'll say that he's in a tie with the kids.
If
Right?
put it this way.
Mhm.
When a woman fixes the plate in the house,
Mhm.
when a man and a woman marry, God say the two become what? One flesh.
Mhm.
Okay. God placed the pecking order of how this thing should be.
Yeah.
We ain't did it. It ain't nothing you did to be born a man. It ain't nothing I did to be born a man. It's nothing that a woman did to be born a female.
Mhm.
God did what he did. He said what he said, and he placed the order the way he placed it.
Yeah.
And technically, that man should eat first. He should, because if that man get weak, okay, let me ask you a question. A man, his wife, his two kids
Yeah.
is on an island.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting down to the why.
Mm-hmm.
The food getting down to the why.
Yeah.
I mean, it's getting down to the why. It's one slice of bread left.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody equally hungry. Everybody ate the last time everybody ate together. There's one slice left.
Mm-hmm.
What should happen to that slice of bread? Who should eat that slice of bread? And why?
Why I think, I don't want to use absolute.
Mhm.
Why I think, this is my opinion.
Yes, sir.
I think that food should go to the children,
Mhm.
the kids first. And the reason why I say this, for one, that is your seed that you've been entrusted with. You hear what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
That's something God gave you.
Mhm.
And he entrusted you with that child.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, just the love I have for my child. And just to know that I done had years longer than theirs. If that's something to give them a little longer life, because I done lived longer than them. I done seen more things than them. I would want them to have that first.
You know, that is one way to look at it. And that is your first instincts. Most people first instinct.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm going to tell you, I've thought about this very much. I'm going to eat that piece of bread.
Okay, and I'm going to tell you.
You know why I'm going to eat that piece of bread?
Oh, why?
Because me eating that piece of bread going to give me some strength to go out there and kill that buffalo and bring that buffalo back.
But
because that child or neither that mother can go out there and kill that buffalo and feed his family.
But this my thing, right? It is like you were saying. If we are in a dire situation to where we're down to one piece of bread, if you ain't went and killed that buffalo yet, you ain't. So you don't need that bread. What the hell you need the last piece of bread to go kill what? And you done wait till it got down to that?
Hey,
I can't buy that. I can't buy that.
That's one way to look at it, you know.
You would have been done made a move to make it happen.
Hey, man, I was out there, man, but You know, I went to anger. I'm gonna tell you a story, man. I went to anger management, right?
Yeah.
For 3 years. You know, and I ain't realized how. I remember looking in the mirror one day. I said, "Well, Lord, why am I like this?" I read a scripture in the Bible that say, "Know ye yourself, if Christ Jesus be in you."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Know ye yourself. Know your own. You know what I mean? Know yourself. And I'm thinking, Lord, why am I like this? And I remember I'm standing in the county jail. You know, they got them old fuzzy mirrors. You can't see clear.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just standing in the mirror, just looking at myself. Not looking at my image. I'm looking at me.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to thinking, man, think about all them, that rap music. Fighting them dogs. You know, just everything was violent. Everything in my life was violence.
That was the culture.
Everything that was inputted into me, even the upbringing. Stop crying, boy, suck it up. Bill, man, kick his behind. He hit you, you hit him back.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I had to come to grasp, man, with, and I used to go to anger management. It took me 3 years, man.
Mm-hmm.
I went to anger management for 3 years. I'm arguing with this lady in there. She's showing us videos, you know, that say, well, who's right, who's wrong. I'm taking the man's side every time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but she shouldn't have did that. And it wasn't until I was in the dorm and I found myself in a situation like the video, and I was the man in the video.
Mm.
I said, but maybe
That's why you could identify with him so much.
maybe
That
I
was
do.
you, huh?
You got that right. And you know, we were stubborn, you know, strong-minded.
Oh, yeah.
You know, ain't no changing me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to tell you something. It's this lady, the instructor. She also was a drug and alcohol, you know, counselor.
Mm.
And she say, I'm going to tell you right now, if it's one life jacket, it goes right here.
Mm.
If the boat's going down, there's one life jacket. No one gets the life jacket but me.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to say to her, how can you do that?
Mm-hmm.
What about your granddaughter? Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Life jacket goes to me.
Mm-hmm.
Right here. And I couldn't understand that. How can this lady want the life jacket?
Mm-hmm.
But she was more so speaking from the drug alcohol because only Steve could save Steve.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you are alcoholic and I'm an alcoholic, now I don't relapse and I call you, Steve, I can't make it, come drive me from the bar. You can't afford to walk in that bar because you may relapse yourself. So only Steve could save Steve. And that was her message. You know, right here, no one gets the life jacket but me.
Yeah.
And this lady one day, this changed my life, man. This the way I view things. This lady said to me, you know what, class? I want everyone to know that William is a chair.
Mm-hmm.
I said, chair? But this lady, I'm looking at the other people like, this lady's great. I said, a chair? She said, yeah, that's right. William is a chair, class. I want everyone to know he's a chair. And I'm looking around like, lady, crazy, you know? And she said, are you a chair? I said, no, I ain't a chair. She said, neither are you a son of a B, neither are you an a-hole, neither are you an MFer, or any other things that people say that you are.
Exactly.
To get you out of character, to push your buttons. And that little simple analogy changed everything for me. That changed a lot. You know, so who cares what you say?
Hey, you know, it's funny that you say that because I got this magic trick that I do. And it's the same thing on what you're talking about. And it's like, you know, at times, like, a person can just come in the vicinity and you just feel the vibe. You know something finna happen. You know from previous history that it's just never a good outcome with these people or nothing like that, right?
Yeah.
It's always something. And then guess what it does? It actually get inside you and boggle your soul down and all kind of stuff, make you feel a certain type of way. You don't. Guess what trick I learned?
What's that?
Boy, you might have to pay me to tell you this. I call this trick, it's all I have to do is bend a corner and you out my world, period. You out my world, period. All I have to do is get the hell from around you.
Yep. You know, it's a scripture in the Bible. You know, my granddaddy was never a spiritual man, like a churchgoer. But when granddaddy found out he was dying of cancer, man, granddaddy asked me, he said, grandson, you read your Bible? So I'm like, my ears perk up. I'm like, yes, sir. He say, the book of Proverbs got 31 books, 31 chapters. Whatever day of the month it is, you read that chapter. So if the day is the 23rd, you read Proverbs 23rd. And I did that for years, and you get so much wisdom. And if I'm not mistaken, Proverbs chapter 14, verse 7 says, flee from the presence of a man when you perceive in him not the lips of knowledge. And I read that so many times over years. First of all, you don't even know you remember it.
Mm-hmm.
You'll just be standing there and the scripture pop in your head. And I will walk off in the middle of a joker talking.
In the middle of it.
One thing, I don't know why cuss words bother my ears, man. I cannot stand to be around a person that cuss all the time. I just can't take it, man. It's like, man, you ain't got no better words than this, man.
Yep.
You know? And I used to cuss every word out my mouth. I remember going to 101.3 when I had my little first album, and I had got there late because I couldn't find the studio. So I'm sitting down, that man talking so fast, X-Man. Remember X-Man?
Yeah, I remember him.
And you know, my little family, I'm gonna be on the radio. You know, that was big back then, you know. And all I'm saying to myself, boy, please don't cuss on these people radio. Cause you know, you're ignorant. You know what I'm saying? You cuss every word out your mouth, you know. And I thank the Lord, man, that He delivered me from that, man. Our mouth and the thought pattern and what we used to do. See, accountability is so important. The brothers that was trying to better themselves, and I came up with a thing, if you see a cuss word, you got to touch your nose for 10 seconds. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I be in my room, you out there in the day room, I hear you curse, I stick my head out there, Steve, and you touch your nose. And it got from touching your nose to saying it and golly, making mistakes, and then you would think it but wouldn't say it, and now you don't even think it no more. And it got to the point where you don't even curse no more. And one day an officer called me in the little lobby thing.
The Rover's office.
The Rover's office, yeah, there you go. And he took me in the office, and he told me to sit down, so he looking at me. I said, yes, sir. He said, I was home with my family, and I was barbecuing, and my brother-in-law was jugging at me, and I cursed at him, and he said, and before I knew it, I was standing to my barbecue grill touching my nose. See, because when the officer come in that dorm cussing and fussing, I say, hey, we don't talk like that in here, man. We trying to do right in here. And the officer respected that, and I would tell him about, you know, the nose and stuff, and make him touch his nose. And he got to the point where he come in there, he cuss, he'll touch his nose. And see, think about what that did to that man. This man home, away from me.
Oh, yeah.
And he's standing up there, caught himself touching his nose. You know, you don't know the impact you have on people's life, man. That's why you just do good. You know, the Bible say all the time, Jesus went about doing good. It ain't hard. Just go about doing good.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? You know, you remember my you remember my music?
Yeah, I remember your music.
Is it one song that stand out particularly to you?
It's been so long, but I remember.
You remember Get Down.
Oh, yeah.
Act show is Big Pete kind of flirty. And you know, I read a scripture in the Bible. It say, to edify each other. And to edify means to build up. You know, and I guess I could say I'm always been kind of flirty. You know, even you want to know where you stand. Not like you trying to, you know, even back then, I ain't care to proceed. I just want to know I could. You feel me? And right now to this day, man, I see people, man, I edify them. No strings attached. It may be a 70-year-old woman, but you could tell she took a little time and did her hair. You could see she still, I be like, ma'am, your hair look nice today, ma'am. Oh my God, thank you. You know what I mean? You know, you tell a lady, you know, ma'am, you got some pretty eyes. You got a pretty smile. So just to make people day, because me learning, doing what I'm doing now, boy, it's a lot behind them smiles, boy. It's a lot behind them smiles. Smiling faces tell lies, man. You know what I'm saying? And just to strike a conversation, you know, And people just lay out their story, man. People hurting, man. And one thing I learned about being in prison, hurting people hurt people. Hurting people hurt people. And man, those kids, man, these young men, it's a young man I just spoke to yesterday, man. He this morning he had to go turn himself in to go do 10 years.
I know you're speaking about.
And I spoke to that young man last night, man, and I never would have known that he's so respectful, man. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know.
He's so respectful, always yes sir, no sir, most utmost respect, man, and my heart, and I just think about the system.
Yeah.
You know, even though I don't know whatever happened, whatever he did, but just the system and the way they do our people, these kids, man. That's a young man that's from a good family and given the right opportunity. That young man is a positive kid. That man, I don't know what led to him, the situation, but that is a good young man. Yeah. But see, all they see is what they see that come before them. And see, I'm a firm believer in just because a woman walked down the road butt naked don't give you the right to rape her. You understand what I'm saying? And to say that, I'm going to say, if you say they racist, you know they prejudiced, if you feel like the court system will do this to you, why put yourself in their hands?
Oh, yeah.
Why give yourself to them? Because they going to do what they going to do.
Oh, is they?
That's a rooster. That rooster going to crow. Every time the sun rise, he going to crow. But you ain't saying nothing when you selling all them eggs. Huh? Speaking of a rooster, you a chief rooster in your day, huh? Huh? Let's talk about Playboy Jap a little bit.
No, man.
Yeah, man. We got to talk about Playboy Jap with the Fisher hat.
I don't know who listening to this.
With the Dickie Boy pants, with the silk shirt, with the Chuck Taylors. Come on now.
Hey, that was just a tie, for that time. That's what it was.
What's up with Playboy Jap, man?
Ain't no Playboy Jap no more.
He gone now, but let's educate the audience and let these kids know, what did you learn? How have you matured? And when you look back at those times, when you tell your sons, when you lead and you guide them from your own experiences as being Playboy Jap.
You make me sound so bad.
That was Playboy Jap. Playboy, hey, look here.
You make me sound bad.
Look
man.
here. The Bible say we overcome by the power of our testimony. And the blood of the Lamb and the blood of Jesus and the power of our testimony. Yeah. See, testimony, we ain't been through nothing. We can't teach nobody nothing.
Oh, no. You can't teach
You know what I'm saying?
Nothing.
We here to educate our youth to let these young men know. See, because they look at you now, oh, man, he don't know, man. He don't know what time it is, man. I'm doing it like this here. But see, if he can't relate, if he don't know you can relate, he ain't paying you no attention. My grandmother used to, I used to call my grandma, man. I remember, man, I'm with a woman and she pregnant. I don't been doing this hocus pocus junk and the other girl supposed to be pregnant. And don't nobody know. The other girl don't have the baby. My mama don't know. Nobody don't know. But grandma. I called grandma. Grandma, this girl don't have the baby. Say the baby mine, grandma. Grandma was extremely spiritual, but she never beat me over the head with the Bible. She'll say, yeah, I remember one time. I'm like, grandma, for real, grandma, you did that? See, but that kept me feeling like I could talk to her. That gave, and from those experiences, it gives me wisdom now how to deal with people. If she would have said, well, Jesus said in Mark, grandma, I ain't trying to hear that. I'd have hung up and I ain't calling grandma no more.
You box on up.
But because she made me feel like she understood, she told me a story from her life to let me know that she wasn't saying like, well, I'm his grandmama, I don't want him to know that. No. Grandma made mistakes too. Grandma did something too.
Mm.
And I'm looking at the woman that grandma is, so even through my mistake, I can still turn out okay. You understand what I'm saying? And that's all I'm saying. I'm not here to, to make you look bad, but, if you were the playboy, you're the playboy, baby. People always said to me, you're a player. Okay. Hey, man. But, you had your share.
I was just fortunate. I was very fortunate. I was liked.
What you think the number one quality you had to be the man that you were? What you think they saw?
I don't know. I guess you know what I'm saying. I was pretty much like a little more mature for my age. I guess that appealing to a lot of people at times when they can actually see a young person that carry themselves with such poise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's very attractive.
Women look for different things than men look for.
Exactly.
In their spouse, their partner. Men are lustful.
That's all we was on.
We see, we want, we hunt, we kill, we eat.
Yeah.
Women, you may not be attracted to her at first, but if she get to know you, my granddaddy used to always say, my granddaddy used to say, son, if you could make her laugh, you could make her come. That's what granddaddy said. That's what granddaddy said. But it's some truth to that.
Old game.
Boy, granddaddy, hey, look there. You go to hollering at her. You remember who was that? I think Ice Cube on something. He say he spitting in her ear or something. She go to laugh and you go to talk, he spitting in her ear. She showing them teeth, man. Hey, man. Hey, one thing about a woman, if a woman ain't in her, a woman ain't gonna have you in her presence. A woman know how to get rid of you if she want to get rid of you.
Oh yeah.
If I made the statement that men are more emotional than women in certain areas, if I say women are more emotionally stronger than men?
That's the right way to say it.
How would you turn it? Yeah, if women are more emotional stronger than men, how would you respond to that?
Because it's easy. It's just like women, they're more in tune to their feelings and emotions as opposed to men. See, us men, we, like you said, we done been brought up to look at things only a couple of ways. And let me tell you what it is. Happy, sad, angry. Those are the feelings that we relate to. We can't go in between these feelings at times because it's going to be black or white for us. It's going to be 1 to 3, and it may be a 4th one.
And if you hurt me, I'm going to hurt you back.
It may be a 4th one, but this is all we basically... See, women, they're more in tune to their feelings and emotions than us. So,
how important is communication in a relationship?
It's 100%. It's 100% necessary.
If I say, who do you think are the better communicators, women or men?
I say it depends on the individuals because you really don't know that.
Women are emotional. So when
women are over emotional at times too.
Right. And when they're emotional, they express themselves.
Oh yeah.
They communicate. I feel like this, I feel like that.
But see, we do the same thing, but it's gonna be in one of those 3 to 4 things that I'm talking about. We either gonna be sad, mad, happy. That's how it's gonna
a lot of times for a man, especially a young man, it's like I show you better than I can tell you. You don't heard that.
Bravado. Oh yeah.
Basically, you know what I mean?
That's the angry feeling I was talking about.
Exactly. I'm trying to tell you what's going on. Okay, you don't want to respond right. I show you better than I can tell you.
Yeah.
So we act out.
You know what that'd be? That'd be like a communicator. When a person can communicate on certain levels, they result to that. I used to be one of those type persons.
Yeah, me too. That's what
I'm not a good arguer. I don't want to talk. I want to fight.
Yeah.
And see, but you get older, you're able to communicate a little better. You know what I'm saying? And understand. And it's funny you said that. I took a course because, we basically have free college courses in the feds. And it depends on if you take them or not. And I was about to become a counselor. I was taking psychology adolescent psychology, actually, when I was major. But if you can't communicate with a person and you dealing with a lot of thinking errors and a lot of just negative thinking like that, you're not going to be able to communicate good at all with anybody.
You know, we said something earlier about the women, our wives, and so forth, respecting the boss man over the husband. Who fault do you think that is? I believe that, and not saying, don't take this the wrong way, ladies, when you hear this. I think that it's no different than you as a man. I always tell my daughters, a man ain't gonna respect you no more than you respect yourself. I say, baby,
That's something good to tell them.
I say every time you lay down, he'll get on top of you. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I tell her things like, a man gonna always want what he can't have. You understand what I'm saying? And you know, you know how we was raised, man. I'm still, even on William Robinson, I am who I am.
Oh yeah.
So my firmness, there's certain things I believe, I'ma just believe to the day I die.
Mm.
You know, and Jesus just got to tell me when I get there, you know, you here, but you was wrong on that. But Lord, you know in my heart, I believed it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I believe that that's the man's fault.
Mm-hmm.
If his spouse respect her boss more than him, I think that's the man's fault if she don't respect him. I think it's the man's fault if she don't allow him to follow, you know, sometimes the man say something to the child and then the mama defend the child in front of the child, all that stuff. I think all that's the man's fault.
I think that what you're saying has a lot of merit and truth to it, and it goes back to what I was saying, I think, earlier when I was talking about it. We as men, we really need to, I think we really need to take more time out to think what we building around us, man. And and when I say that, I mean household, whatever it be, that's going to benefit your family if you have one or yourself, right? And I want to say this, and I think that it is the man. You know how it always the family will be like the man of the house deal with the boys, and the woman, she'll deal with the girls, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what I do believe that I think that the man, he really need to take a little more time with the daughter.
Yeah, you
just
know,
as well.
That's right.
Because she need that man guidance, that fatherly guidance. Overall, then okay, it's your mother, I understand, but she gonna need that manly advice and that manly guidance at times. And I think that when a man just pretty much not involved with his daughter like he should be and on every point with her, I think that's gonna be a big, huge mistake moving forward for both of them.
You know, that's so true because I spoke with a young lady and her father got, you know, her parents, it's 2 boys and 2 girls.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a boy, and then it's her, and then it's another boy, then it's a baby girl. And the boys is really good in football, you know, and the dad would support them every football game, every practice, everything. And she felt as though she don't have a relationship with him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he don't interact with them. You know, he's older, you know, and back then a lot of men didn't say I love you.
No, it was
you
hard.
Know, I'm going to work every day.
Yeah.
I'm
That show you the love right there.
I'm paying these bills.
Yeah.
That's love right there. You know, and all she want to hear is her daddy say, I love you. Mm-hmm. You know, just ask her how your day was. You know, and sometimes she say that once the boys got a little older and the boys get the girlfriend, and when the girlfriend was allowed to come over, he would interact with her.
Mm-hmm.
But he never, I'm talking about her whole life, she felt as though he never really saw her.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? It's like I had a dad. He's here all the time, pay all the bills, you know, everything. But I didn't have a father because we not lovey-dovey. And I look at how my daughters is with me. You know, I got a daughter, Steve, that was 2 years old.
Mm-hmm.
She turned 2 years old a month before I left. I never laid eyes on her until the day I came home.
Mm.
So when I came home, it's a 19-year-old woman. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
That have not laid eyes on me. She didn't remember me. She was only 2. And just think about that feeling for her. You know, and I think, you know, even the monster that I was, you know what I'm saying, with the attitude and the cheating and all that stuff, man. You know, one thing all of my kids' mother would say to to our children, your daddy love you.
Mm-hmm.
They whatever, he might have been bad at this and bad at that, but I can tell you one thing, your daddy loves you. And her mom always told her that. Your daddy love you. I wouldn't care what nobody, your daddy love you.
So you got to appreciate those type sisters.
I do. And right now my relationship with my daughter, you know, she's in the Army.
Mm-hmm.
And she came down. And my wife, I don't know where my wife was. My wife might have been at work or went somewhere or something. And I was I had got up and cooked the breakfast and everything. And I was just laying in my bed and she tapped on the door. And she came in the room and she laid down, you know. And my daughter's not an affectionate person. Like,
mm-hmm.
and that's probably due to me not being there. You know, and she respects me, and it's hard for her because she say that I never had a man over me. You understand what I'm saying? I've never had no man over me, no authority figure. So even like it's hard for her to even because I'm in the end, hey now, hey, you know, like you say, I'm still daddy. I'm daddy now.
Yeah.
You know, I'm your. You know, I understand she's a mature young lady, and we talk about things and the friend thing, but hey. I'm daddy first, you know, and sometimes I kind of, you know, when our foot get to go down, we look at each other, you know, it's like mutual respect. Now, where we going to go from here now? Mm-hmm. And, you know, I had to, certain things I had to, you know, where I stand, you know, and I had to understand that I am a stranger to her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they had to grow. And at first, I'm a I love you person. Mm-hmm. Daddy love you. At first, used to be, I love you too. Like it was forced.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, now it
bothered you? No,
because I understood that this had to be awkward for her.
Mm-hmm.
I am a stranger.
You're a stranger to someone I love you.
I'm a stranger, and you know, and I remember I came home November the 7th, 2021, man. So about 4 days, 3-4 days after I come home, so it's like the 11th. I think actually it was the 11th. We go on a daughter daddy date. You know, so we go to Cheesecake Factory and go to Dave and Buster, and we kind of, you know, and I remember this her first time. She's alone with me, first time ever, a stranger. You know, so we go and you know, I'm the type of man, you know, I'm in the presence of my kids, my daughters, you know, women. I'm a door opener, you know, chair puller, you know, things. I teach them these things, especially my daughters, and show them what a man looks like, what a man is, you know. And so as we walking across the road, you know, I grab her hand and hold her hand, and you know, later after we good now, but she was like, you know, I'm kind of daddy love you, you know, always want to hug before she go and come. When I greet my kids, I give them a kiss on the cheek. Right now, son and all.
Me too, but I give it to them on the forehead.
I give them a kiss on the cheek.
Yeah.
When I see them and when we leaving, I hug them. Daddy love you, and but that's strange to her at the time. You know what I'm saying? And she thought, she was like, yeah, that was kind of weird. You know, I felt a little, you know what I mean? But I'm persistent. This is not no act. This man, you know what I'm saying? And remember, the words is repeating in her head. Your daddy loves you. You understand what I'm saying? And And sometime, I remember the first time she called me, my daughter, she real pretty and stuff. She's a girly girl to the 19th power. I don't know how she in the army. But, and she'll call me sometime to show me her new outfit. She want to put them on, ask me which one. And I remember the first time she did, I'm thinking to myself, I'm happy to hear from you. I'm thinking to myself, what the world? But this
she wants you to share that time that she missed.
Yeah. And the fatherhood part of it, and the point that she would think of me, just the point that she would think that, it feel good. That, and I went to visit her. I went to visit her one time, man. And she picked me up, man. I got in her apartment, and she said, "Well, come on, let me show you where everything at, because when I go to work tomorrow, you'll know where everything at." And when I stood up, man, to get off the couch to walk in the kitchen, I don't think she meant to say it out loud, but she said, "I have a real dad." And that touched me inside, man, because, everybody, you yearn for that, and I'm saying all this to say that young lady, it's important. Sometimes we always talk about how men need to be in the boy's life. It's important for a man to be in his daughter's life.
I'm trying to tell you.
Because that gives her structure, and that gives her, show her what to look for in
a man herself.
In a man herself. And also to be receptive, she'll be used to having an authority figure in a man, and she won't be so combative when she do find someone, That's so important.
That's a safe way to say that.
That's a safe way to say it.
Yeah.
I'm going to mention a couple of things, and you just tell me your thoughts. Donald Trump.
A clown. Funny. Very entertaining.
Puff Daddy.
Baby. Who would have ever thought? Let me elaborate on that.
Yes, sir.
Puff Daddy. See, sometimes you could get off in this society. Well, we known in the streets, you know how we think. It's a white man's world. It's a white man's world. Diddy, you played in a white man's world. But they have a way to show you what you really is to them. Okay, you can carry on. That's all I want to say.
Cat Williams.
Cat Williams, boy. Revenge of the Sith.
What you mean by that?
Revenge of the Sith. It's a lot of people that have been blackballed and stuff like that. A lot of times, it's one thing about us black folks in particular. It's like we really, at a lot of times when we get to a certain level, we really don't care if nobody else get to that certain level with us. And we really don't prefer it. But it's been a lot of blackball, and it's been a long time coming. So revenge of the Sith.
Oprah Winfrey.
They need to put her in a school over there in Africa and let her get missing like all those girls that she done had in the school missing. I really don't care much for Oprah.
Kamala Harris.
Fraud.
Barack Obama.
Fooled us. But I am happy that he was the first black president. /half, but
Yeah.
But it's a lot of things these people, nefarious things these people do. And it's a lot of things. One thing about that guy that I called a clown, he put us up on some things that we really didn't know what was going on. He really did. And we thought he was crazy.
Why do you think so many people, when it comes to this man, it's like it's no gray area? You either hate him or love him. Why do you think that?
Because that's all he's going to give you. You're going to hate him or you're going to love him. We know why most people love him. We know that. We know why they do.
What's the difference in racism and being prejudiced?
Difference between racism and prejudice. Prejudice could be for anything or anybody. Racism is just It's targeting an ethnic group. There's a difference between that.
If I made the statement, most black people is more racist than white people, how would you respond to that?
I'll say most black people are angry than white people.
If the Klansman will hang me and I shoot him in the face, what makes me different than him?
I should not kill.
Bottom line. Kanye West.
Thought he was crazy. But he put us up on a lot of things too. I think that Kanye, he just really like, and I'm gonna say this. I believe if Kanye wasn't going through a lot of things he was with that girl Kim, we wouldn't hear a lot of things that Kanye really had to say. Pressure bust a pipe.
Kanye, we was talking about the Matrix.
Oh yeah.
See, a lot of us live in the Matrix, the average person. I got, some people that look at the news and boy, if it was on the news, that's the truth. That's the truth because it was on the news.
Trump told you, false media.
Fake news.
That too.
Trump say fake. Trump say fake news.
See,
Fake news.
He put a name to something we ain't knew what it was.
Trump fine in some ways, like you
He's
say,
funny
clown.
as hell.
Yeah, clown.
He's funny as hell.
And I think that
he said the people are eating the pets. They're eating the dogs. He said them people eating them things, man.
what
You ain't watched the debate?
Yeah, I watched it.
Okay.
What you think? What you think?
Man, I think he's scratching it a little, man. But I mean, you don't put stuff past like that because for everything, a person just don't pull stuff out the air. You feel me?
See, Trump, I'm gonna tell you something. We talk about the Matrix and the media. What makes United States so powerful over the other countries is that United States controls the narrative of the world.
Oh yeah.
We control the narrative of the world.
Yeah.
And when you see a lot of things that's coming to surface this election, and when you see a lot of things, man, that's like when Jesse Jackson running for president, man, Donald Trump was right there.
Oh yeah.
Paying for that thing, man.
Oh yeah.
A lot of these dudes, man, Donald Trump had a lot of these dudes game.
But you better look back through the history. He used to really deal with a lot of black people.
Right.
Now, does that mean he's not racist? I'm not going to say that. Because a lot of times we don't know what Donald Trump had to gain. Right?
Yes, but I tell you what, now this always been a quote unquote a wealthy man.
Yeah.
So I'm quite sure he didn't. I look at it like, I don't think he's racist. I think he's prejudiced. And I think that we all are prejudiced because that stems from the word preference.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like Popeyes over.
That's your preference.
That's my preference.
Yeah.
Over KFC. Now, if you say, hey, Pete, man, when I leave here, man, I'm going to go up the road here to KFC and bring you something back that's on me, I'm going to eat it.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? But if you ask me which one would you prefer, I'm going to choose Popeyes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to choose Pizza Hut. I'm going to choose Crunches and Munches. I'm going to choose Wendy's.
Well, you naming them, man.
I'm going to smother out fried pork.
You going to smother them?
Fried pork, chopped poker beans and rice, baby.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what I mean? So, and I think he just prefer his people over. That's like, it's nothing wrong. Like, I don't, like me, I know I'm not racist. We was raised to, in our era, I don't think we was raised to hate Caucasians. I think it was more so, you watch them. You watch them, son. Because in the end, it's some stereotypes are real. Certain stereotypes are legit.
Who's not going to have a negative opinion about their oppressors?
Yeah, that's true. And I think that we all have a form of, but I think we should educate ourselves. Sometimes, like you say, hey, back in the 80s, man, this man was Man, they showing videos of this man saying the same thing then as he's saying now. And they praising him. Oh, he'll be a great president. He'll be a great. But see, to me, they can't control Donald Trump.
Yeah.
See, everybody else is
They
a puppet.
can't. You're real snobbish.
Yeah, they want a puppet.
Oh, yeah.
See, Obama got up and said all the right things.
Mm-hmm.
All we looking at is the black skin.
We were so happy for him, wasn't we?
We looking at the black skin.
Oh, yeah.
He said all the right, and God bless, see me, I'm the type of man, remember we talk about I am who I am.
Yeah.
Now, I love everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And see, I understand that certain things are a spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And see, like, a lot of, like, I'm not, the homosexuality and all that there. I love a person as a person. I love the man. I love the woman, but I hate the spirit because that is a spirit. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get
now,
you.
I understand on this platform, a lot of people feel certain ways, but that's the truth. I'm going to say what God said.
Mm-hmm.
God destroyed a whole city. And if God did it, it's right. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm saying that to say that man opened the doors to a lot of this stuff that's going on today. You understand what I'm saying? And, Trump will tell you, if I'm the president, ain't no boys going in the bathroom with the girls.
No.
Ain't no boys going to be running in against the girls
No.
in school and all that old crazy stuff,
No.
man. That's crazy, man.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean?
And this is what we got to guard our kids from nowadays. And that's what I'm saying. You got to be more engaged with your kids and what's going on, because when you step out your door, you never know where it's going to take you. We live in a very strange time,
And it goes back to those spirits that we talked about.
Oh, yeah.
And
The unseen things that I said, there's something going on, but we can't see it. There's something going on. We just can't see it.
yeah. But if we read our Bible, we can't be surprised. The Bible predicted these days would come. We just didn't think we would be living in these days. But it ain't no different than when me and you was out there, like you say, you 15, 16, own place, own old lady, doing your 1-2. You know what I'm saying? And grandma looking at you like, baby, you're supposed to be in school. You know what I mean? So grandma looking at it, because in her days, that was unheard of.
Yeah.
See, now as things happening in me and your days, now we the grandparents, that was unheard of in our days. So each generation is going to get worse and worse. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it is, man.
But Pete, back in those times, that was like the most jobs the government ever created for a black man.
When it comes to the black and white thing, I be like this, like I clearly understand what happened to our ancestors. Mm-hmm. And don't think I'm ignorant. Not, I understand systematic oppression. You understand what I'm saying? But man, I also believe that me, myself, is the same man that looked in our mirror and decided, to know who I am. Mm-hmm. Know ye yourself, how did Christ Jesus be in you? See, I made a decision, bro, to be a better man. It boils down to choice, man.
Yeah, it do.
And I understand that. Just like, man, I went to Forest High School, man. Them same little white kids I sat around, man, some of them doctors, lawyers, judges, stockbrokers, all kind of stuff. So I got the same education them people got, man. I made a decision, a personal decision that sent me to prison. Mm-hmm. But I'm man enough to admit that today. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I understand I may have to take 10 more steps to get there.
That is another big discussion right there when it comes to what you just said. That is a whole nother discussion about that, because yes, you can make choices. Yes, you did make choices, but it's a lot of events at times that put us in places. But that's another story.
Yeah, that is a true statement. That's why I say that. Story. That's what I mean by the systematic oppression.
Yes.
Like they'll make a law for everybody, but they targeting a certain group.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I understand that. You know the era we was raised in.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely not ignorant to, I ain't even going to say the opponent, because at this point, see, when you going to get on God's side, you got to be on God's side.
That's right.
When I read the Bible and I read things that I've been doing all my life, and then Jesus says this the way it's supposed to be, I realized that I was wrong and he right. Mm-hmm. And I just accepted it like that. Now them other ways got results, but that don't mean that it was the right way to do it.
True.
And I meet a man, but I've always met a man as a man. You know what I'm saying? Like when it came to racism and things like that when we was growing up, if I met a white man, I met a white man as a white man, a white friend as a white friend. But
Exactly.
But if you don't like blacks, guess what? I don't like whites. What you want to do? You see what I'm saying? So it was kind of I'm one of them type. Whatever you on, I'm on. Let's do it. I'm gonna see. We're gonna see who could be the best at what we want to do here. But we're gonna play a game here called Fill in the Blank.
All right.
I'm gonna ask you some questions. You're gonna respond quickly, precisely, whatever first thing come to mind. I've always wanted to
Live a better life.
I love when someone,
Is happy.
if I had to do it all over again, I would.
And then again, I wouldn't.
My favorite holiday is,
Oh, man, Thanksgiving.
it aggravates me when people
Think I'm dumb.
the best quality someone could have is,
Honesty.
if I was God, the first thing I would change.
Is me not being God, because I don't need all the headaches.
My childhood crush was,
Everyone. I just love everyone.
Playboy Joe.
Playboy Cardi.
If I could have dinner with anyone in the world, it would be
Dead or alive.
the most influential person in my life is,
Me.
if you could have dinner with anyone in the world alive, who would it be?
Right now at this point. God, they just killed Dr. Seven. If I could have dinner with anyone, it'd just be my whole family, all us together in one place. That's hard to do.
If I could travel anywhere in the world, it would be,
The Galapagos Island. I always want to go there.
my favorite movie is,
Oh, Lord. The Great Gatsby.
if I could go back to any age, it would be,
It would be probably 8 or 9.
Jesus is,
The Son of God.
when I meet someone, the first thing I notice is,
The look on their face.
if I could ask God one question, it would be,
What's the purpose?
my greatest strength is,
I can think.
the biggest misconception about me.
Is I'm a bad person.
My greatest weakness is,
My greatest weakness is I love strong.
I draw a line in the sand if you,
I draw a line in the sand. I don't know. I don't even know what I draw a line in the sand for now. It all depends.
if I had to do it all over again, I would.
I would like to live a parallel life just to see where this one going and what if I did. I see.
If you could star in a movie with any actor, who would it be?
Denzel Washington.
McDonald's or Burger King?
Neither.
He-Man or Thundercat?
He-Man.
Samuel L. Jackson or Morgan Freeman?
Samuel.
Whitney Houston or Patti LaBelle?
Patti LaBelle.
Marvin Gaye or Teddy Pendergrass?
Marvin Gaye all day.
Luther Vandross or Gerald Levert?
Gerald Levert.
Big Luther, Little Luther?
Who is Luther?
Luther Vandross. Big Luther, Little Luther. You know he was big, then he lost all the weight. He was little.
Oh yeah, Lil Luther. I like Lil Luther.
You like Dance with My Father again.
No, that was the weirdest song ever.
And why
You
was
ever
it?
listen to that song? It was real weird.
I never really,
You
really
ever
paid
get a
attention.
chance, listen, just dance with my, why? Why
I guess
would
his
you,
father had passed away. He wanted to dance with his father again.
but why? What you doing dancing with your father? I don't understand that. I can't get that.
Hey, they say
Listen to that
Luther.
song, man.
They say Luther might have been a little weird. You know, you never
A
know,
little
man.
sweet too, I heard.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
A little weird. You know, what was your favorite cartoon growing up?
Space Ghost.
Ooh, what Space
You better
Ghost?
believe it.
Cartoon Network Express, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Remember the little dog?
Yeah.
That little shh.
Y'all saw a Laugh Olympics.
Yeah. And the Rottens always cheating in the Olympics. Them dudes always
That's why their
cheating.
name was Rodney.
They're rotten, but they spoiling up everything, huh?
Yeah.
Emmett Smith or Barry Sanders?
Oh, that's too great. I'll say Barry Sanders.
Terrell Owens or Randy Moss?
Randy Moss.
Peyton Manning or Tom Brady?
Peyton Manning all day.
Dan Marino or John Elway?
Dan Marino all day.
Michael Vick or Lamar Jackson?
They blackball Vic. I like Vic.
Donovan McNabb or Dante Culpepper?
Culpepper, baby.
Culpepper.
Baby.
Baby. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson.
Hey, gotta go with Mike.
Kobe or LeBron?
Kobe all day.
Allen Iverson or Stephen Curry?
I like Stephen Curry.
Dwayne Wade or Derrick Rose?
Derrick Rose.
Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali.
Mike Tyson the greatest.
You better believe it. I knock his behind, slap out.
You see how he make it grown men when he was just a kid lift up off the ground?
Mike would have knocked Muhammad Ali out,
Broke
man.
his jaw.
Broke
his
his jaw.
rib.
Ain't no standing against the rope like you did
You can't
George
take that
Foreman.
leg. You can't take that leg.
You rope a dope. Ain't none of that with Tyson. So Kobe or Jordan?
Kobe.
You know what? You my main man. See, a lot of people won't say the things that we see. We as black people, sometimes we have a tendency to say what we supposed to say.
No.
Kobe would have whooped him. Kobe had a better jump shot.
Yeah, better discipline than
Discipline.
Mike.
Footwork.
Better discipline.
And he was an inch taller. You see what I'm saying?
Discipline.
Kobe. Beam.
You shoot 1,000, I'm gonna shoot 2.
That's right.
I'm here an hour before you. I'm even leaving 2 hours after you.
Tell me something about Steve McDuffie that most people don't know.
Well, a lot of people know that. A lot of people know it's just like, I done been here 52 years and I done seen a lot of things that I can say from my eyes, from my standpoint. I've experienced a lot of things. I've met a lot of people. I've dealt with a lot of issues. And at times I can get to myself and I can just yell my brains out about certain things in the world. The only thing I can say about Steve McDuffie is just like I'm just like the average person going through the average thing they're going through on an average daily basis. And I just hope that, I really, really, really do hope, man, that this world get better, man. Because we got babies coming and they got to live in it. I got grandkids and I think about them all the time.
You know, peace is so important as we
We never
mature.
understood it when the old people told us to sit down. Did it?
Be still.
It's disturbing. It's just the peace when you break it. It's
Disturbing
something
they
I can't
peace.
stand that to this day now. I don't even listen to loud music no more.
You know, that's good. That's good though.
Yeah.
You actually did yoga for a few years, huh?
5 years.
How did you get into that and what's the experience like?
Oh, at first it was like I was at Coleman Medium when I got into it. And actually it was one of my partners. He was just talking. He was just going on and on about yoga, how good it is and how it complements our workout. and how much better you feel, how much looser, how much more wind you have afterward, how much more energy. And I was like, man, let me see what's going on. And I tell you, man, it took me like 2 or 3 days, and I just fell in love with it.
What is it? What about it that made you fall in love? I mean, how did you feel?
It makes me feel better. It made me feel better. Because I can tell you this, right? When you dealing with an environment like that, man, you just don't know how tense your body is and how you done drawed your body up to where it's not responding like it really supposed to be. So yoga, it's peaceful. It's real peaceful. And not only that, when you stretch and you can actually feel that my body is getting healthier, it's getting better, and I'm feeling better as a person. So that's why I felt it.
So it gave you inner peace.
It gave me inner peace.
You know what I mean? The scratching, what is it just the solitude, just it's coming from within, they often speak of.
It's just the knowledge that you know you're doing the best for your body. That's what it does for me. It's just the knowledge, to know.
So what would it take for Steve McDuffie to pick back up yoga right now in 2024?
Well, I done been in a couple car accidents. I have to be very careful about that because I got like 5 herniated discs in my back.
Yeah.
So I have to be real careful with that. But I would love to get back into it, and I do plan on getting back.
Let me ask you something. Wouldn't that help it though?
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, it can hurt it. Yeah. Because if you stretch the wrong way or stretch too far, extend yourself, you can open up the old wounds.
You ain't got to tell me about them nerves, boy. And when them things, boys,
we ain't spring chickens no more, man. We just not flexible like that no more.
Yeah.
We got to accept that at times.
Yeah, I feel you. I tell you what, Mr. McDuffie, this is the part of the show where it's called AMA, where you, Steve McDuffie, get to ask me, William Robinson, anything.
That's a good thing. How you feel?
I feel pretty good, man. I'm doing the work that God told me to do. Make a long story short, man, when I was in prison, I had spinal surgery. Last 3-4 months, I'm going to sleep every night, fasting, praying. I kept hearing the word podcast. So what is a podcast? I never had heard the word in my life. God, they telling me to do a podcast. So I come home, I'm doing it. I fall, break my leg. You know what I mean? I wasn't doing it at first. I fall, break my leg. I'm laying up in that bed. I thought about Jonah, not going to preach to the city of Nineveh and me not going to podcast. I said, well, Lord, if you allow me to walk again, I promise you I'll podcast. I put a pen and paper beside my bed. Woke up, I had Talk, Love, Communication written on it. So that's the name of my podcast. And here I am today speaking with the great Steve McDuffie, huh?
Yeah, man. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
It feels so good to be in an environment that you can control.
Yes. That's right.
Yeah.
Especially after so many years of it's so many things that people just take for granted. Even, when you've been to prison or been to war, things like that, because, certain camps, man, you don't know if you're going to, that thing really get down to the wire, where you don't know if you're going to, this kill or be killed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got some people that's hurting so bad, they want to die, but they don't want to kill themselves. They want to make you kill them.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And just to make it, man, and the family, you just love family different.
Yeah.
When you've been away from them. Most people have never been forced to be away from the ones they love, man. And sometimes I feel like an alien when I first came home because I got all this love inside of me in an unloving world. It's like I was an alien. You know what I'm saying? And like all these people, these family, I love them so much. Oh, look at Auntie, look at her. Oh my God. And it's like you come to find out quickly that, boy, hey, everybody don't feel like you feel.
That's true.
And even right now, man, it's love, man. So many things go through my heart when I see people, man, And I remember my grandmother just passed away last year, man, and I was blessed enough to be there to be a caretaker.
Yeah, my condole.
And thank you, sir. And she say to me, I'm like, well, grandma, this. She said, well, son, you different. She said, Pete, you different. Pete. You can't expect for people to feel how you feel, son. You different. And she's always say that, but when she said it was like, you different, son. Understand that people don't see life. People don't see the world. People ain't willing to do what you willing to do, son. You different. And and when I think about it, I always have been. Steve, I ain't never done a drug. I ain't never smoked a cigarette, drunk a beer. Nothing in my whole life. Never.
I don't know what to say about that. I don't know what to say to appreciate that or damn, you missed that. I don't know.
Boy, I tell you, but you know what, though?
I'm teasing, man. That's a good thing.
As I started to read the Bible, right?
Yeah. Samson
was a Nazareth. And as a Nazareth, his mother, I'm going to say, the Spirit of the Lord spoke to his parents and told him, a razor shall not come upon his head, neither shall he drink strong wine, neither shall he do these things. So he needed to be pure inside. Now, I had my spinal surgery, and I'm sitting here 300 pounds right now. But boy, this stuff, health on the inside. You hear me?
Why do you think they said that? Why do you think he said that?
Spirits. You're allowing other spirits, and plus to have a clear mind. See, to me, in my mind, I never did it because I wanted to get away. You know what I'm saying? I had an older cousin. It's amazing how stuff affect you. I had an older cousin. We little, man. I'm maybe like 8, 7, 8, 9. And my cousin got drunk, got on the other one. Put it up, not turn it. There you go. There you go. And he got drunk and got on drugs or whatever, and he went and robbed the bank through the drive-through.
How you pull that off?
He sent a note through the drive-through.
I wouldn't have been scared of him through the drive.
Yeah. So he woke up a couple of days later in jail.
Yeah.
Don't remember how he got there. He want to know what he doing in jail. And they got him on tape, all this, so they showing him himself. And I remember being a kid listening to that story. And right then I say, man, when I get big, I ain't gonna never do drugs. If it's gonna make me go rob the bank through the drive-through.
And don't know and in jail.
So, and it's stuff like that. I've always been like that. I can learn from your story. That's why this podcasting comes so natural to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you can say something that affect my life forever. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And I just never, and by me being strong-minded, it wasn't no peer pressure. I don't been down there in Miami and strip clubs and everybody, boy, you gonna drink tonight. You gonna do this tonight. You know what I'm saying? All the girls like the big guy. They think the big guy's sweet. You know what I'm saying? The girls come to me, oh, big daddy, whatever. Water. Water. And you ain't getting no more than I want to give tonight. I ain't finna get, you know what I'm saying? I don't, I'm just not, it's just certain things, and it just meant for me to be the man I am. Certain things that's never turned me on. I never went to, what's the club, the Painted Horse, and all these clubs, like the local. I never stepped foot in the Oak Tree or the, what's the one they had up here by the police station? Graffiti. I stepped foot in each one of them places one time. And you know why I stepped foot in there? The DJ was playing my song. And I just came in to see how the crowd would respond. And I walked out. I just never, certain things in life just never turned me on. You know what I'm saying? So I think it was always destined for me to be the man I am today. I just had to go the long route.
There's nothing wrong with that, man.
I had to take the 40 years to get to the promised land rather than the 40 days.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm here.
You got that right.
You got any more AMA?
No, man, you answered. It's just good to see you, brother, man. You're doing your thing, man. I mean, I really do, man. You know what I'm saying? Just, I'm cheering for you. I hope the best for you.
From the man that you knew to the man that's sitting before you today, What's the difference you see? Or there is a difference to you?
You've always been like to me.
Yeah.
I really don't see a difference. I can hear a difference.
Mm-hmm.
I can hear a difference. And I can hear a little more wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But, you know.
Yeah. Straight up. I tell you what, this is the last part of the show, sir. You're going to look directly into this camera over my shoulder here, and you're going to give your final thoughts to the world, sir.
My final thoughts. The world need a little more dreamers, man. We need a little more love. We need to pay attention more to what's going on around us and what we do to affect others, positive or negative. We need to be aware of these things. And I just wish the best for everybody. That's all.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We want to thank Mr. McDuffie for his wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, ladies and gentlemen. And like I say, ladies and gentlemen, once again, I am your host, William Robinson, and we're here today on Talk, Love, Communication with my story with Mr. Steve Jap McDuffie, formerly known as Playboy Jap.
No.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm so proud of this young man that we have become. This man is full of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Great input to our community, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to pay attention to the words spoken in this podcast. Very true. A lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge, a lot of understanding. We only got one life to live, ladies and gentlemen, and it's a whole lot easier with love and communication. You can donate to this podcast with Cash App, Anybody Love You with a U, PayPal, Robinson74 Williams, Zelle 352-209-3306. And remember, if no one told you they love you today, William Robinson loves you.